What's that?
I will not punch you in the video.
They're
It's
gonna
not gonna make the final cut.
Okay, but you're still gonna beat my ass.
We'll see.
All right. My second guess is power.
Power is the 5th highest answer for 1 point.
Go, take it.
All right, we're tied up. I am gonna go with Gold Digger.
Gold Digger is the 4th highest answer for 2 points.
Nice.
Wow, we've had no misses so far. This is kind of crazy.
We're on fire. All right, so there's one left.
Correct.
Just the third answer.
I'm gonna say Bound 2.
We back,
is
we
not
back, we
included.
back, we back in action.
Strike one for Graydon. I'm gonna go with Jesus Walks.
That is not included.
That is literally what I was gonna guess, and now I gotta do some thinking.
Would be kind of incredible if we got the first 4 right and then we just strike out trying to get the third one.
I wouldn't be that
we got double
surprised
voice.
because you have your list of ideas, like Jesus Walks was in mind, and
Yeah.
like I know you were thinking Bound 2 too. You were definitely thinking that. So, what album is it off of, Grant? What's the title of the song? I'm going blank.
we have
now.
double
I can't
voice?
even I'm like, all right, I only know 4 Kanye songs. What is it? Hey Mama?
That is not included.
I'm gonna take a wild card guess here. I'm gonna go with I Love It with Lil Pump.
That is not
All right.
included.
I think that's good.
I was thinking that one too. I was like, maybe that one snuck up there.
I just thought it would be funny if that was the
Yeah.
third most streamed. So we both have 2 strikes. So last guess for you.
Father Stretch My Hands Part 2.
That is not included.
Part 2. Both of those songs, part
All right,
2
we're
is a
good.
wild guess.
Sweet a miss.
All right, I'm gonna go with Runaway.
That is not included.
We both struck out.
After getting the first 4 with ease.
All right, Grant, what was the third most streamed Kanye song?
4 or 5 seconds.
Oh,
No new videos.
Who's up next?
ooh, who's up next?
Oh,
Just that's the question.
got it. Yeah.
Who's up next? What's up, you're watching Hive Mind, the most corrupt
That's
show
the
on
question.
internet. My name is Riley Zubser, by my compromised co-host, Grady.
Who is up
My hands
next?
are tied.
And welcome to the 7th episode of Hive Mind Feud, Survey Edition. So we sent you guys a 10-question survey to fill out. Same rules as regular Feud, but we're gonna try to guess the 5 most common answers for each question. 5 points for the top answer, 1 point for the bottom answer, 3 strikes were out. Me versus Grady.
Watch it,
versus
Carmelo
you.
Antonio. Go
Sophie
like it.
from Westfield, Massachusetts.
He liked
Reminds
the
me of the
picture of me
Westfield
being
Mall, which I
done,
have
but he
nothing
didn't
but
watch
good
the
memories of.
video.
It's Franklin Park Mall now.
And I still love it.
All right, before we do it, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you want to see
God
more.
dang it.
HiveMindTV.com for our merch. We also have a drop with Copes on
Ice
his
spices
website,
have
which
been
is linked in the
devoured by a
description,
mythical
along with our
serpent.
Patreon and our Cameo if you'd like to support us.
Thank you, everyone.
Also, today's
that's
video
what
is
I'm
brought to you
talking
by our
about.
sponsor, Fume. We'll tell you more about Fume later in the video. Thank you, Fume.
Thank you.
Tell
For
me
this
more
episode
about
of Feud, we got
fumes.
16,000 responses on the survey.
What?
Yeah, that's a big sample size.
It's crazy.
We're gonna get the truth.
Well,
Well.
Grant, what's the first question?
What is the best Drake song?
Ooh, the best Drake song.
They hate Drake.
I did have a logistical question for you.
Yeah.
You've always gone first because you haven't won a game.
Right.
When you go first, that usually means that you'll be going first on the music questions and not first on the non-music. I feel like that can kind of hurt your game. You're tricking me. So maybe I should go first on the music and you go first on the non-music?
Okay.
It's just a thought, you know?
It's a good thought, though.
So we asked 16,000 people who do not like Drake what the best Drake song is. I'm gonna start with Passion Fruit.
Passion Fruit is the highest answer for 5 points.
Wow. Just felt like the most undeniable, enjoyable Drake song.
I mean, it was a great answer. Couldn't have gotten better. Hey, I hate you.
Why do you hate me?
I
Don't
hate
hate
you.
You hate part of yourself.
Yeah, I do. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Show me started from the bottom.
That is not included.
Yikes.
It was a bad guess. I
That
knew
one
it.
hurts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
that
It
one
was a bad
hurts.
guess.
Just try to imagine a Hive Mind fan throw.
I hate that it always signs me into the wrong one. It's really, really annoying. There we go. So now, and my suggestions fucked up because they deleted all my history. I don't know why. Like a decade's worth of history, they just deleted all of it. And now all my suggestions fucked up. Whole thing's screwed up. You know what I'm saying? It's all screwed up.
I think the first thing that comes to mind when I think of the PS4 and Xbox One era is all of the games that released in just a totally busted state. Don't get me wrong, broken games have existed since long before the PS4 and Xbone. Shout out Superman 64. Hi Clark, how are ya? Good to see you. Haven't seen you since college when you lasered that professor. But there definitely weren't nearly as many big budget AAA busters. You know, big rigs is barely comprehensible, but that game was made by one man in a
Shout out to
not
Big
a giant
Rigs.
AAA Megatron. Back in the prehistoric days of the Xbox 360 and PS3,
Big Rig
downloading
speedruns
an
are
update to
insane.
fix issues or add stuff to your disc-based game after its release was like a fairly new concept, but like an actually pretty cool concept. Wait, so the interweb can make my already legendary game even more legendary by downloading this epic Chuck Norris update? That's pretty like a boss. I see no way this could ever end badly for the consumer. It is 2007, I just saw Michael Clayton. But nowadays, the disc inside that case you just bought is practically dead weight the second you've installed the game and downloaded the likely necessary giant update full of fixes not included on the disc. Because the disc was actually manufactured months prior to the game's set release date, and the developers kept working on stuff during that time, likely because the publisher set the release date way too early and were just like, it's fine, everyone has the internet, you'll fix it in time, just never stop working. You don't have to see your family. Your family is dumb. Your families are literally the cringiest idiots I've ever seen. Why do you want to go home to them? Goofy, your family? L! The disc may as well just be a
L
doctor's note
family.
that tells
L
the PS4,
family.
yes, my son actually does own the game. Now, go ahead and give him the necessary day one flu shot. Oh my God, it's 87 gigabytes. Fallout 76 didn't even actually come with a disc, so you actually just got a cool new blue coaster for your psychotic Reddit dungeon. Basically, if you don't have internet access nowadays as a gamer, you're screwed. But my goal with this video isn't just to be like, wow, things used to be better back in the day and now they're all bad, grr, because it's not that simple or true. Big budget broken video games exist for a lot of reasons. The first one being making video games is just really, really hard. I have been openly critical of many big budget AAA games on this channel, but I hope that I have always made one thing very crystal Pepsi clear. A lot of very talented people work very hard for very long, crunchy Nature Valley hours to make even seemingly simple stuff like this possible, and it's crazy. And in order for a game to be even considered pretty good by the general public, gameplay, sound, story, characters, performance, all of these things have to perfectly align in the gamer night sky. Obviously, modern technology has made creating virtual worlds a lot easier than it was back in the 80s or 90s, and I think we often take that for granted. We've come a long way from the days where 3D was a bit more of a fluid, abstract concept like jazz, and you aimed a gun with the
Like
same finger you drove James Bond with. But with better tools and better hardware comes bigger projects, with bigger budgets, with bigger teams, with bigger lists of bigger problems that your big ass better fix with your big tractor. And if you've ever been hanging out with a big group, you know that even doing something as simple as deciding where to go for dinner can quickly become a f***ing boss fight. Especially when your friend's mom, who's paying for the dinner, has all these crappy dinner demands because she's trying to satisfy her dinner shareholders. This metaphor is getting a little
dinner
goofy. I think you get the point.
shareholders.
I know half of you are just thinking about Michael Clayton still. So I think the first obvious reason for AAA games releasing in a broken state is that game development is just insanely hard and requires so much dedicated collaboration and efficient time management, and it's a miracle that any video game ever gets finished and even exists at all, and all video games should go to heaven. The second reason is okay, buddy, that's enough out of you. Hi, I'm Jakey, and Jakey, Attorneys at Law, and I'm here to tell you about today's video sponsor, PayPal Honey. Honey is a free online shopping tool that automatically searches for promo
PayPal
codes at
bought
checkout,
Honey?
like a little deal detective, so that you don't have to. Honey works.
I
for
wonder
so many
how
things.
much
Really needed a
PayPal buys Honey. PayPal to acquire shopping and rewards platform Honey for $4 billion. Whoa. Talk about a payday.
new lawyer briefcase because my previous one was covered in so much mud for reasons I'm not at liberty to say. So naturally, I looked online for a cute new backpack that I could to this episode of Nabo Jabo in the age of Michael Clayton. As most of you in the audience know, new video games sell around $60 or I guess now $70 on PS5 and Xbox Series S, X. Why the f did they call them that? And it's been around that
Series
$50 to
S.
$60 price point
Such
for
a
a while,
bad-
even
yeah,
though
it's
AAA
stupid.
games take way longer to make now and have way
futuristic.
bigger budgets than back in the day when I was star quarterback. So because of all that, and also inflation, in some cases, it's kind of a steal to get a game like Elden Ring for only $60 when Eternal Ring was $50 23 years ago. And the swords in that game are tiny. They're not nearly as girthy or as long as Elden Ring. You go out in public with that shrinking ink, I'll kick your ass. Donkey Online has a really good video about video game pricing that you should go watch later, but not right now. If you leave, you won't see how I learned how to spin. I'm gonna spin later. You're gonna wanna see that. So if you're a company whose main priority at the end of the day is just to generate as much profit as humanly possible, why not cut a few corners, you know, assuming that your reputation isn't all that important to you. Because if it's a choice between A, spending millions of dollars for every month that you lengthen development time to ensure that you release a relatively finished product, and hope it eventually pays off because lots of people recognize that it's good quality and buy it and sing your praises and you win awards at the big show and Jeff goes, oh man, your game is so big, it's the biggest game I've ever seen, dude. Which is all a very big gamble. Or B, set a very unrealistic release date that you know damn well you will not make and force your team to crunch their asses off only to still release a broken game that you'll maybe eventually fix with
Man, I don't know about playing the fucking
after release and after you've already made
I heard from a
money.
homie
Sure
that today that
a return on your
2077 is still garbage.
Satisfy your investors, you do all these pre-order bonuses and fancy trailers with celebrities just to guarantee that people buy your game before gamers can even know that the game is busted as hell because you've also made it so that no publication can drop a review for the game until the day the game comes out, which should be illegal. Yeah, if the only thing you care about is sales in your quarterly reports, you're definitely planting at bomb site B. Just like Ubisoft and EA and Bethesda and Square Enix and Activision and CD Projekt Red and Microsoft. Like several times. You very rarely see Sony or Nintendo or Rockstar publish a big broken unfinished mess because they know that their reputation is a big reason people purchase games that have their cute little sexy logos in the corner. The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, God of War, all of these Sony exclusives released in relatively bug-free and complete states. And, well, Days Gone was iffy, but we don't have to talk about Days Gone. Yeah, I said your name, sweetie. Now go back to bed, okay? Doesn't mean that those devs didn't have to crunch like hell to reach the finish line. No, unfortunately, crunch is a huge problem across the entire industry, and even Golden Girl publishers and developers like Sony and Naughty Dog aren't exceptions to that. It's still very much not ideal. But apparently even Golden Girls like Nintendo or Rockstar, companies with some of the highest rated games of all time under their championship belt, they push Site B too. It's B, rush B, rotate B, rotate B. The GTA Definitive Trilogy was one of the most appalling and disappointing re-releases of a beloved franchise that the world has ever seen. I just had a good idea. And this is Rockstar, the company. Good idea just came to me. And this game. We're gonna do that. This game. And this game. And fuck it, even this game is amazing. And you know money isn't tight with how much of a cash cow GTA 5 continues to be 10 years later. Like, this isn't an indie publisher rushing out Hog Simulator 3 because they're strapped for cash after their Kickstarter failed. No, this is Rockstar. It's just greed. I don't know if it falls on Rockstar or their parent company Take-Two, but at some point, someone or someone's somewhere said, "F it, we'll do it live!" And Nintendo, they just published the 2 lowest rated mainline Pokemon games to ever exist. Games now famous online for their hilarious bugs. And I ain't talking about Caterpie. And even if there's a fun game buried underneath all the bugs, it should be illegal to advertise and sell a product in this state. And that brings me to my final reason that I think broken AAA games will continue to exist. You. I touched on this in my ads and video games video, but oh my god, stop pre-ordering games. That's why these companies keep promising to serve you hot lunch square pizza and then go, psych, you're getting swapped! Because they know the average consumer is gullible as hell and overly trusting and super loyal to their favorite thing, and they prey on those sensibilities to make sure that your money ends up in their pocket. And it does. Every single time. Pokemon was busted as hell and still sold 20 million copies. It's like serious gamer Stockholm syndrome where people will watch a pre-release review for a game like Dying Light 2 on IGN or GameSpot and defend the game like their f***ing life depends on it, even though they haven't even played it yet. Okay guys, but remember, this is without the day 1 patch, and we all know those usually fix everything. You can't spell ignorant without IGN or ants. And even months after the damage is done and a broken broken product has sold millions
Poor
of copies
ants.
because apparently gamers have toasters for brains. People in the comments will once again applaud and defend companies like EA or CD Projekt Red for sticking with their game and fixing it long after release, which it's like, I guess that deserves some level of praise, maybe? You know what I mean? It's like you buy a taco for the full price because you were advertised a full taco on the fucking taco screen. And when you get that taco, you open up the greasy paper just to see a busted ass half taco shell with only beans on it. Only beans. Oops, all beans. And then 6 months later, a Taco Bell employee rings your doorbell.
Shout
and
out to
gives
Young
you
Beans.
The other half of that busted taco that still doesn't have all the meat on it that they promised. And your response is to start clapping? Like, what the fuck? And don't get me wrong, definitely throw love to the hardworking individual devs that actually got in the crunchy taco shell trenches and coded this broken mess back together. But give zero fucking credit to the shitty overlord Taco Bell EA Corporation responsible for that broken taco that you paid full price for in the first place. God damn it, I need a taco or at least a churro to the throat. God. A lot of initially broken games can eventually blossom into really good ones, like No Man's Sky, Master Chief Collection. Final Fantasy XIV was like completely reborn, pun intended, and people love it now, and that's awesome. But this cycle will repeat as long as gamers
wanna try that
continue
game,
to buy
but
games and
I'm not
pre-order
really
games
into
before even knowing
MMORPGs.
if it runs as well
It's
as
too
the pudding
long.
on their treadmill. The
Not
only
enough
possible
stuff.
change starts with you and what you choose to spend your money on. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep
As
getting
in story.
anthems shoved into our ant holes. But you know what they say, you can't spell Nakey Jakey without Jane or Kevin. I'm gonna start uploading more stuff to Jaquan the Jequel, so if you want to go subscribe to
Jaquan
my
the
twin, you can get
Jequel.
some indie slop in between my AAA Prestige exclusive DLC Nakey content. Thank you to Honey and Jakey and Jakey Attorneys
What up
at
to
Law for
Jequel?
sponsoring this video. Get at me on Instagram or Twitter, or
I'm
don't.
taking too much Z-Quill. I got that iron, got that anvil. I shoot him in the balls, now he's sterile. Try to trick me, do it at your peril. Just a random, super slow freestyle. I don't like to watch stuff like that, to be honest. It's sort of a waste of time seeing people get in trouble. I feel like I don't learn anything there or laugh. I remember him talking about this on live. I was watching his live for the first time and he was talking about it. Yeah, he was showing it to the camera just like that too. Small world. Army Hammer is still 100% a cannibal.
News. Ty Lopez, you hear about this?
Yeah.
He's
to
going
jail.
bankrupt. Jail?
Yeah.
Ty Lopez is going to jail? No way.
Cannibal.
Here in my cell. Ty Lopez is a
Here in
cannibal.
my garage.
Here in my
With
cell.
all these kids that we eat.
Him and
Mm.
who's the
Grant Cardone.
Who?
Grant
Oh.
Cardone.
Oh yeah. He's also a cannibal.
Yeah.
Well, they're part of like the hustle guy elite
Yeah.
that are all secretly cannibals.
Yeah.
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 they're like the Illuminati of hustle culture guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
they-
wanna eat people.
Do you think that? Do you think they got that Ferrari
He bought
without
Radio
using
Shack
any
so
of
he could eat
your
all the
adrenochrome? Come on, man.
Oh,
They
Because
can't.
they were
do it.
old as hell, so he's
Can't
like,
get a Ferrari
really
without
easy to
that.
break
He's like,
down.
no one's gonna miss you.
Yeah. Everyone forgot about you already. Damn.
Yeah, the
Well-
first thing people say when they're like, yeah, he was eating Radio Shack employees. The first thing they say is, "Go, Radio Shack is still open?"
Huh. Yeah, but no, he
It's
was
a
eating.
distraction. Yeah,
he was
He's
eating the
the
employee.
employees. I didn't even know they still employ people.
Oh man, I used
That's
to go to
great.
Radio
Where is
Radio
the?
Shack.
Where was it? Because I didn't see.
No.
The
he's
ones in
like-
my city closed.
They're like eating.
I remember going into Radio
remnant
Shack, and there
employees.
was never ever
That's great. I used
anything
to
in
get
there.
batteries
Like
there.
there was some cool stuff that was like at the
Buy like little
setups,
RC cars there.
but that
when I
was
a
it.
kid.
And
It's
then
crazy.
there
So
was
much
like
fun.
only
Yeah, all the ones in my city closed. That's because the
like
people
weird
were eating.
parts, like that you would
Yeah,
like
well, I mean, you
as a
can't keep a
kid
store
like
open
mean
with no
nothing to
employees,
you. Or
so-
like this is just a bunch of
I guess it makes sense.
No, like
You know,
Ty Lopez.
the
cousin-
circuit
yeah.
board was
Oh, yeah,
too
I know that guy.
complex
Isn't
for
he
me.
The book guy.
My little
Yeah,
kid brain.
He's a garage guy, right?
Oh wow, what's the garage
Did you
guy?
buy Pier 1 too?
See, yeah, he's going B Rupp. Mac Rupp.
Yeah. So this is something that he's.
Wait,
done
who are
over
you
the past-
thinking about? You were like
Call Me by Your Name. Army Hammer.
Army Hammer.
Also a cannibal.
Yeah.
But like,
100%.
what did he say
cannibal.
again? What's the famous quote? He said like, "I'm legit a cannibal." Remember, we were joked about that for so long. In his DMs, he's like, "I am legitimately a cannibal."
Look it up.
Yeah, dude, he says that.
The nerve of that guy to come back and do an article and be like, "I've been framed by cancel culture."
He's like,
Dude, you literally said you eat
I'm
people.
legit a cannibal.
Yeah.
I am 100% a cannibal.
There we
Don't you
go.
remember that?
Yeah. Now I do.
Yes.
It's
No.
so
Now I
funny
do.
to
Title
see it.
Is
See
there
it
any
as a
refuting
fucking title, as a headline.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
like
am
you could have said I'm
100% a
90% a
cannibal.
cannibal. Then there would have been a little wiggle room. You said I am 100% a cannibal.
did this guy not spend any time watching like Vice documentaries? Remember that Vice doc about that dude in Japan who was a
I'm
convicted
100%
cannibal
a
and he's just
cannibal.
roaming?
I never saw that.
Yeah, bro.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why is he roaming?
He's just a citizen.
No, but like, isn't it illegal if you get convicted of being a cannibal? You get like
I
thrown
thought
in
there was
jail.
some like weird.
Because then you have to, you would have had to have killed the person, right? Or I guess you could like chop off their arm and eat it.
Or just, a little calf. Little slice of calf.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah.
I forget what it was, but there's some loophole where
Fuck, dude.
he is just a regular citizen. And all I'm saying is Army could have done a little bit of
I am
research.
100% a
He
citizen
could have
and
just
a
said, "I want to
cannibal."
eat you,"
Yeah.
Could have been like a weird sexual. But there's probably like a lot of messages before that.
Yeah. He probably did say that at some point.
Yeah. And she's like,
She's like,
"Oh,
yeah, I want you to eat me out. And he's like, not exactly what I mean.
Not quite what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I want your feet and your femur and your kneecap and your thigh.
Yeah, you want to kiss him?
I want to eat them.
Yeah, you want to like, yeah, you eat
I
him.
want to
Yeah,
cut off each
okay.
of your toes and put them on the grill.
Okay, like grill, like what do you mean?
A Black & Decker 6200.
Is that like a dildo? Is that like a fancy dildo?
No, it's a Black & Decker. You get it from Home Depot.
Okay, like an industrial dildo.
No,
I am 100% a cannibal. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. 100%.
want to hook up a can of propane. This is just Hank Hill. Well, put some propane and cut your feet off and holy fuck, dude.
What? The picture. You just live to obey and be my slave. I will own you. That's my soul, my brain, my spirit, my body. Would you come and be my property till you die?
Man, whatever.
This is a real life. This is a real life. Whatever his face was from Last of Us.
Yeah, if I wanted to cut off one of your toe. Oh, I'm just doing.
Yeah.
Well, now it's not. No, it's not quite so fun.
If I wanted to cut off one of your toes and keep it with me in my pocket, so I always had a little piece of your dog.
Little piece of you in my possession.
So I always had those little piggies with me.
Oh man, he's
Little
just got
piggies with me.
a taxidermied pinky toe just rolling
You
around. in his-
live to obey, be my slave. I will own you. That's my soul. What the fuck does that mean? That's my soul. Would you come and be my property till you die? If I wanted to cut off one of your toes. Oh my god, Army. The fuck, dude.
pocket.
Ty Lopez.
Ty Lopez bankrupt.
So he bought Radio Shack, Pier 1, all these like dying retail brands.
Yeah.
He bought
Linens
them.
and things.
What? Linens and
That's
things.
what it
Yeah,
says
he
in
like
the article.
raised money him and his partner like raised like tens of millions of dollars to buy these brands and turn them into like e-commerce brands or something, like
What?
modernize them.
Yeah.
And for some reason, people thought like he was the one that was gonna do this, and I guess it's not working out at all.
Revenues, which Rev is probably the company that
He didn't read
formed to
enough
buy all
books.
this, right?
He didn't read all the
losses
books
were
in his
about
garage. He was
60
lying.
million compared with about 150 million in sales in 2021 and about 90 million in losses.
It has racked up over $200 million in debt, the source added.
Wow.
Is Rev Radio Shack? What's Rev? Is that their
I was assuming that's the company they.
is that their like
Yeah.
umbrella company
Parent,
that owns all these
whatever.
brands?
Yeah.
Huh. That's crazy.
Yeah, but buy this dude's program,
Yeah, exactly.
guys. We got to keep radio. Like, do you want to?
Yeah, this is Rev. We transform well-known, undervalued retail brands
should have
into
edited his eye to
e-commerce
go, like,
success
both-
stories.
They
Both
bought
ways.
bodybuilding.com.
Yeah, but I feel like they're not doing that bad. It's probably just like a couple really bad. Like it's probably Radio Shack and Pier 1 that are like taking this whole thing down because a lot of these actually seem like they're successful monthly subscription businesses.
Yeah. Pier 1.
Like if that's true, Mentor Box has 60,000 recurring subs
It's pretty crazy.
just for one brand.
When's the last time you set foot in a Pier 1, man?
Not since all their employees were.
I've never been in a Pier 1, ever. Not
What
once.
did Pier 1 even? What did they sell?
That was the great reckoning.
Not even
reckoning
once.
when all the retail employees got eaten. All these rich guys heard like this eat the rich thing, and they said, nope, it'll be you before us. And they ate them all. You thought I was paying you? I'm a munch. Eat your family for dinner, eat your family for lunch.
I'm a munch.
I'm a munch.
He's Army Hammer is a munch.
You thought I was paying you?
I'm a munch.
I'm a munch. Munch your whole. I'll munch your family.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, man, the cannibals love Ice Spice. They love Ice Spice. It's like the first song that actually gets me.
Thought I was paying.
I am a munch.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Oh man, a
I'm a
cannibal.
munch all sorts of stuff.
A cannibal in a car with his boys. They're like, it's like,
Throw that Ice Spice. Watching Mr. Beast, known terrorist, then reacting to other things. Known terrorist. That's some crazy clickbait right there. Sickening murders of Logan Mwangi. Mwangi. Yeah, dude, my suggested is screwed. Like, I'm getting like all the same stuff. Like I've seen all this stuff, and for some reason it deleted my history. I don't know why. It's bothering me. I've brought it up like 4 times, so it's you can tell it's bothering the fuck out of me. I mean, I've seen all this shit before. It's like the same thing. It's the same stuff every time I refresh. YouTube is broken. I'm suing. Class action, guys. Class action. Class action. Action button reviews. Boku no Natsuki. I don't know what that is, but why is it 6 hours long? Why is it 6 hours long?
Making a holistic video game presentation. For backgrounds, Millennium Kitchen contracted Kusanagi Corp. Any dedication to easing her family's grief or not.
It's
This
a
one part where
6-hour review. Whoa. That's an adventure. A 6-hour review of one video game. Wow. How do you write a script that's 6 hours long? Homie took too much Adderall. Wrote a 6-hour video. He's like, well, I gotta film it.
Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down. Today we're going to be talking about the Last of Us series. You know, listen, as of late, we've been talking about all kinds of IPs that have been just absolutely tarnished. I mean, we're talking about Scooby-Doo with Velma. We're talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. So I thought it would be good to let's take time to talk about something that actually was good and actually did the IP justice. I think that The Last of Us, the series, is a prime example of how doing adaptation is done correctly. You know, we've even talked about Junji Ito's adaptations, and that's a perfect example of another thing that is a literal translation gone absolutely wrong. So, I don't know, what makes Last of Us so good? Well, that's what we're gonna get into. I mean, for starters, it's a video game show. Think about the amount of video game movies or shows that have come out that have been absolutely terrible. And let me tell you, it's like almost all of them, 99%. I think there's like a very short list of good adaptations. I mean, I don't know. Let's go down memory lane. How about the Resident Evil movies?
We gotta play a game. We gotta play a game.
The fucking franchise lasted for 40 years. It was unbelievable.
It
had
Disco
like some of the
Elysium.
characters lobbed in, but it had nothing to do with really the games or anything. It pretty much, you just put Mila Jovovich, whatever the fuck her name is, whatever Russian name that is, and just threw the Umbrella logo up on stuff, and that was the extent of it. Then you have the Warcraft movie, the Assassin's Creed movie. Remember the Uncharted movie that came out last year?
Assassin's Creed
Sure
movie.
you don't. Nobody
gotta
does.
be
Did
bad.
you remember that Mark Wahlberg was in it? Sure you don't. Nobody does. Remember that Tom Holland looked like a 6-year-old boy compared to the actual character? Sure you do. It was ridiculous. Prince of Persia, 2010. Jesus Christ, I forgot. Jake Gyllenhaal. My God. 37%. Pretty good. Yeah, good for you, Jake. And of course, how could we ever forget, and I forgot about it until I just saw this list, Lara Croft Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie. My God. The list is just staggering, which is just like, it's so easy to take interactive experiences. I mean, I know I said this in my Five Nights at Freddy video, but my biggest skepticism with even the Five Nights at Freddy movie is how are they going to translate the gameplay into story and make it something that's compelling for, like, you know, a movie. It's the hardest thing that anybody has to do. And I mean, even to call back again, the Doom movie, Doom is just a guy shooting demons. And in the Doom movie, like, there was like that 160-second sequence at the end where it was first person and it was really fun. And you kind of just scratched your head after leaving it and you were like, why didn't they just do that the whole time? That was fun. But luckily, The Last of Us succeeds on multiple levels, and it's glorious. But you know, what is The Last of Us? Is it a best-selling game? Yeah. Has it been HBO's most watched show ever? Yeah. But the story itself is pretty simple. I mean, it's like a pretty standard post-apocalyptic story. Instead of zombies, you have mushroom people, which even that, I'm just like, what the that sounds so fucking lame, but it works beautifully. And I think that it has all these elements that are just so, they cater to the video game. I mean, obviously it's coming from a video game, but I mean, like, one of the best things that comes out of The Last of Us, even in the video game, is the writing. And that's one thing that translates beautifully. That's the first reason of why the show is so good. The show is written by Craig Mazin, who is a phenomenal writer. Okay, you ever heard a little show called Chernobyl? Probably not, because it's good and it doesn't have memeability value, because it's very sad and it talks about a very horrible, tragic event. But you know what?
Scan my computer, make sure I didn't download anything
feel free to
bad.
tune into that, because it's beautifully written. It takes the elements of what makes adaptation so important in a game, which is how do you keep the things that people really love in a game, but how do you expand on ideas that maybe a video game can't give you? Also, spoilers! In the show, the story is able to do things that maybe you couldn't do in a traditional video game. Hence, jumps back in time. You know, nobody wants to sit there and have to go through and just walk around as a character. What the fuck is like Batman Arkham City or whatever, where you're just like walking around watching Batman talk? It's so boring. So to have all these like layers of story in a game, I feel like would be too distracting. It wouldn't push it on far enough, and I think that people would get bored and want to just skip it anyways. So the show is able to do these time jumps and have, you know, more insight into some of the lore or some of even just the world building that the game's just couldn't do. A couple examples. In the finale of the show, I'm jumping right to the end, huh? In the finale of the show, we go back and we get to see Ellie's mom, which, guess what? Side note, it's the voice actor who actually played Ellie in the and you got to have a bit more of the complexities of a mother and a daughter relationship, those complexities of, you know, seeing somebody that's no longer around, that kind of pain that brings with, and to also introduce it at the ending of the show kind of makes you reconsider maybe everything you thought of the character so far. It's just a really fun and intricate way of adding these little moments into the story. Another one too is at the very beginning of the show, we are introduced with just like a little layer of, you know, exposition. It's just a little introduction of information of how the whole thing started, which in the game, you're kind of just thrown into this post-apocalyptic world. In the show, you get to have just a little talk show where it's just little rumors of a fungal virus that's going around that, you know, could potentially affect the whole world.
Not bacteria, not viruses, so fungus.
Newsflash, it
Fungus.
does. So you get that little interesting moment, and then it pushes ourselves perfectly into Joel's backstory. And it's just like a very seamless way of introducing these new things. Joel's daughter, getting to experience the whole episode, which crescendos into like a 2004 Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, the beginning of that film. Just experiencing this whole chaos that's all been stemming from this. It's the best of both worlds. People who have played both games get a newfound appreciation from just a little bit of new lore right off the bat with something that's already familiar, while people who are completely absent of the story, have no idea, have never heard of it, are completely understanding of what's the stakes, who is this character, what did he lose, what does he have to gain, and it's just all laid out beautifully right in front of us. It's so many chef kisses. You're gonna be calling my chef boy ID by the end of the night. And while Craig is writing for the show as well, they still have the original game creator, director, and story writer, Neil Druckmann, who's also lending his voice to this project too, which I don't think a lot of shows really do, even especially movies. Like, that's just something that, you know, they get an IP, they're like, what's this IP? What's it called? It's called Jackson Daxter. It's about a fucking raccoon and like a fish guy. Okay. And they just take it. They don't give a shit about anything. There's no fish guy. It's mostly just two squirrel men. It's about two squirrel men who make love and they race cars. Can we get Jack Black? Can Jack Black be involved? That's pretty much what happens with these things. Today's video is sponsored by the ever-enticing and ever-romantic Bad Dragon. This is for mommy and daddy, so if you're not a mommy or daddy, then scoot on, little one. This one's not for you. If you guys are looking for any way to spice up the bedroom or think of ways to give yourself a little gift, right? Hey, Christmas doesn't only come once or twice a year. It comes whenever you want to buy one of these and put it in your hole. And let me tell you, with the product here, no lube even required, I don't think. This thing is slick. It's like a seal's back. Bad Dragon has been an amazing sponsor of this channel. They have been the not even a joke, the coolest brand to work with. Everyone that works at that place, we got to visit it, is just so cool. All the employees are amazing, and they have given us so much freedom and opportunities with sponsoring our channel. So we just want to say thank you to Bad Dragon. And seriously, please, if you're in the market for a little something, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, wink. Check out Bad Dragon. You will not be disappointed by the quality. I promise you. I absolutely promise you. So thank you, Bad Dragon. I love you. I love you so much. Put this in your hole. So it's cool that they're actually getting the creative input from the guy who conceived the whole fucking project, and it actually cares about it. I think that actually shows how that blends in together with some of these shots that are just one-for-one recreations of the game.
People are hearing my other videos
I
quieter
think
than they are.
People who have played the game,
Supposed
it's
to be,
just like a
really.
little cherry on top that the people who have never played these games and are just experiencing it for the first time would never even know. But it's not distracting in any way. It's just like little tiny things that just, you know, they pull down your pants a little bit and they're just fluffing you up. You're not trying to blow quite yet, but you're getting fluffed up and it feels good. Next up, we have the atmosphere of the show. God damn, I bet people on this channel love what I said. I say atmosphere more than anything. It's just so important, though. You have to understand. And The Last of Us gets atmosphere done so right. It's just, it's done so well. There's so much beauty in this post-apocalyptic world and it's all perceived through the eyes of these characters, through the stories they tell, through the experiences they have. It's little glimpses of humanity in this like completely desolate landscape that just makes the show so warm and inviting at moments that it's just incredibly wholesome to such a degree that is so feel good at times. And it also amplifies the times when shit goes wrong and you know you have your heart break over and over again, but it doesn't mean it's just a small little message. And I know this is gonna sound like the back of a Disney VHS tape, but it just goes to show that there's just a little bit of humanity in such a bad world. And I think that's important. Seeing stuff through the like the lens of Ellie, who hasn't been outside of this, you know, this walled off city for so long, and you get to experience her driving in a car for the first time, or what she sees airplane on the side of the road, or just little kind of moments, human moments that Joel gets to educate her on, and it just like builds this beautiful relationship. And then there's moments where Ellie sees wildlife, or we have a beautiful setup to where they go into a gas station and you hear her talk about a Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet, and she really wants to play it. She heard so much about it, and then later on we get to see her in a mall and she gets to experience that for the first time. And it's like, oddly enough, it's like you feel so personal with these characters, with how they're written, and how it's like you just feel so happy for their achievements and like the small victories that are had. That's one thing that's true about the adaptation from the game to the show, is that the show really captures the wide open nature of these landscapes, like these buildings. The sets are just amazing. Like being inside these large buildings with huge flooded floors, or toppled over buildings, and just all kinds, highways with just cars full pushed across. I mean, it's so wide open, and it feels very reminiscent of the game, which is, I'm gonna burp. Acid reflux, which is just, it's an interesting translation to the show, because there's so many times where in video games it's like they don't really even like kind of try to get the vibe right with the environment that you're in, that like people have grown to love to play in. A lot of the times the creators of these movies or shows are just like, just put them in a temple. What kind of temple? Whatever's on the Universal lot, we're just gonna shoot on it. Probably the best atmosphere in the show, and one of my favorite set pieces is on episode 3 with Nick Offerman, is a man who, he's happy that everyone died on Earth, and it's very much like the typical Nick Offerman character of like a grumpy man, hates the government, blah blah blah, oh, I'm grumpy, and it's very much representative of his Parks and Rec character. But he ends up meeting a man that he saves, and then it's basically like just a tragically beautiful 45-minute movie about two men falling in love and having like probably the best 20 years of their life. And it doesn't end in a way, there's moments where there's trials and tribulations, but not with them in a way that's like cliche or stupid. It's like them defending themselves against raiders, and then also like later on in their life, the guy, he just can't walk and he's old, and it crescendos with them like basically KYSing themselves.
What? Why?
But it's like, it's not sad or tragic. It's like beautiful. It's like inspiring. They got to go out on their own terms in this like horrible world. They got to build a paradise. They got to meet friends, and it's just like such a beautiful way to introduce characters that like don't add a lot to the lore and the story of the game. That is just a beautiful translation of just a little piece of something that you would have never gotten in the game.
Damn, dude.
Just,
I gotta watch the rest
itself
of the
could have been
show.
its own
That
movie,
sounds
and I was,
crazy.
like, fucking tearing up by the end of it. It was just so good. And like I said, Nick Offerman is amazing, but also Murray Bartlett, who I've seen in White Lotus. He's also in the Chippendale show. Been pretty heavily typecasted as the gay character in all these shows, but his range, I can't wait to see what else he does, because his range is just so incredible. I mean, like the raw emotion that you get out of his character and the acting is just breathtaking. It's honestly unbelievable, and it makes Nick Offerman's cold demeanor just like really melt away, and I think it just helps elevate Nick Offerman's performance. I know that he's like kind of the bigger name, but man, that guy, he just killed it. It just was such a beautiful episode. I almost wanted to stop watching the episode or the show after that, because I was like, I just am obsessed with these characters. But it's just a little piece of a larger journey that is just awesome. Very wonderful. And it was funny because on Twitter, I saw people were saying like, oh, this is so sad. But it was funny that Neil Druckmann, the creator and director of the game, was like, oh, that's the happy episode. And I think he's right. I mean, like when I saw people say that stuff, I was like, in what world is having spending 20 years of your life being able to like create your paradise and like be with somebody that you truly love? How is that hell on earth? But you know what? I think all the men at home who are married would probably think it's hell. Right, fellas? hey, never a day off when you're married, huh?
Fucking face, dude.
But another thing that they do right in the show is the practical effects that adds to the atmosphere so much. I mean, it's the makeup is done extremely well, and they don't overuse the clickers a lot. You know, in all these zombie shows and stuff, they're just like, throw them at them. It's just never ending. But whenever a clicker shows up, it really does have this weight. It's like the designs are always extremely inspired, and like all the, oh God, when they show up and they see a body that's like basically glued to a wall, it shows the importance of like why practical effects are just so good. if you CGI'd any of this stuff, it would just take out all of the merit and the charm and like being able to see that texture of like the mushroom on people and actually being able to interact with it. It's just like it's just really well done, and it adds so much to the show. I mean, even the sound effects of the clickers are great. They don't go over the top. They don't deviate from that. Sometimes shows do that. It's odd. You already have an iconic sound. Why the fuck would you change it? It makes no sense. So they do a great job with the sound design of the clickers themselves, the monsters, like how they interact with the environment, how they're melded with the environment. And it just, it makes so many of these shots that also look very beautiful, like really rich colors from all this overgrown grass and light trickling in. It makes them very like beautifully haunted.
I gotta watch
it's
the
just
rest
really
of
cool.
it.
It's a very cool feeling. And also just to
Glad
add
I
to the
waited
atmosphere
for it all
again,
to come out.
is just the addition of like the flamenco kind of guitar that they have in the game, but also it does a kind of thing too that I thought was interesting, that No Country for Old Men, which No Country for Old Men, they don't have any music, it's just wind. But I think that The Last of Us utilizes that too. It's not throwing tons of like orchestral chords at you. It's kind of just letting you exist in the environment that you're in and kind of like soak in the kind of like emptiness of the emptiness of the environment. And by not having tons of music, you really get to like linger with that. And I think it adds a lot. And like what's inherently different about the show is that there's not a lot different about the game in the show. I think that and it's not lazy, it's just that they kept all the parts that people loved about the game, and they introduce new pieces of information and new little moments that make the characters more human and really like are beneficial to a show medium. Like the show and the game are two completely different visual experiences. You're playing with, you know, in the game, you're experiencing it yourself, so you have to be presented this information in a good way. It isn't just a cutscene either. It's a full-fledged thing that you're being submersed in, and like you're sitting back and enjoying and like letting the director guide you versus you guiding yourself through the game. And I think that that's just one thing that's like it's just a simple thing of like what's the difference is that they kept all the good shit and they only added more good shit. That's the biggest difference. You know, like with God, what's even like? Think of any video game movie you've seen. And what did they actually add to the universe of the game that you've played?
Probably this
or like, what have they actually done to make it like a new experience that feels like it serves the original IP? And the answer a lot of time is nothing.
Dunkachino.
It's just
Don't
a
mind
cash
if I
grab.
do.
It's just a way to funnel in fans to sell tickets, which is all good and fun, right? Who doesn't like Resident Evil 2 Apocalypse?
Oh my god.
Right? I used to draw Nemesis when I was a kid. I thought that it was cool. But going back on it, I want to stab myself in the stomach. And then also, lastly, the character performances. First off, my god, you know what's cringy? Seeing all the people having seizures over Pedro Pascal online.
I call Pedro Pascal a DILF and think he's my cool, slutty father. Yep.
Okay, we get it. He's a good-looking guy, whatever. I think it like made me a bit biased going into the show because I was like, oh god, Pedro Pascal, really? Like, yeah, he's okay in Narcos, right? I mean, like honestly, I saw a couple. I mean, it's fine. It's not like he's not bad in it, but I wasn't blown away. That dude is awesome. Okay, Pedro's performance is just like amazing. It's like he's very cold and he's very like decisive, and he's like, you know, you can tell he's just like a bad motherfucker you don't want to mess with.
Unhook her.
How did you get in here?
I said unhook her.
I won't let you take her.
But in the same way too, he's also very caring in a distant way, kind of like a Kratos-esque character.
Shot him right in the fucking
Except
head.
with Kratos is just like a big,
Oh, you take her.
kind of like
He just
god.
fucking
Pedro is a man who's been hurt, and I think that he
lazily
is
shoots him in the
surviving to
head.
survive, and he hasn't had a real means of like having something to protect. And when he finds that in Ellie in the show, you can see that old side of him from the first episode where he's like, you know, just a lovely dad, and it's just very sweet and like a very nice episode. You see that you see that like slowly come back. I wouldn't say that it's fully come back by the end, but you can see that relationship really slowly build over time. And it's done just so brilliantly by Pedro Pascal. I mean, honestly. Good for you. And then Bella Ramsey, I was kind of lukewarm on her for the first couple episodes. It wasn't even that she was bad. I was just like, I don't really know if she's pulling off the whole like, I'm a loner. I don't care about anything. You can shut up and suck my. But by the end of the series, And after like really Joel and her start like bonding through this whole series, she just fits this role so well. I think that like she really becomes more likable, and she still has those attributes from earlier on in the show, but it just feels more realized, and it feels like she's like really, I feel like, started to get her groove. I don't know when, obviously, the filming process, but for me, it just like the characters just really like started to sync up like episode 4. I was like, okay. So it's like, it has nothing. I just wanted to say, like, if you start watching the show and you're like, I don't know, I think just like sit with it, because both of them together are very, very good. And I think that, I don't know, I appreciate both of their performances very much.
No,
so.
I'm
Like
gonna
I said,
watch
too,
that.
like, I mean, so many
I'm
of
gonna
these
watch this
side
now.
characters,
I
like
wasn't
Nick
gonna watch
Offerman
The Last of Us with
you
it.
know, the
He's
woman who
fucking
plays
praising
Tess.
it, and
She
this
was also
guy's
in Mindhunter,
usually
and so
hates
it's just
everything.
like these little performances that go a long way, and it's just, it seemed like everybody just had a very tight performance. I think that like the script was just there, and the direction was there, and it was just like it felt like an easy translation, which is just great to see. Because as much as I love seeing Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, doesn't really come close to Pedro Pascal as Joel. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I know what you guys are thinking. Well, what about
wanna
Angelina
see him.
Jolie as Laura Croft? It's going to be a shocker, but I think that The Last of Us outshines it just a little bit. It's gonna be so funny seeing comments about people being like, there's a Tomb Raider movie, and it's like, not only is there a Tomb Raider movie, there's 2 of them. In conclusion, the show
Tomb Raider
is,
4D.
I mean, like, the
What the
utmost
fuck is
perfect
that?
example, in my opinion. I loved it. First off, I was blown away by it. I am a very skeptical, doughy bitch. I just like, I want to hate things. It's a flawed nature of mine. I know. I see comments too. People are like, "Oh, does he just love to hate things?" It's Sylvester Stallone. But I will say, I was so blown away and refreshed by how good this show was. And
Oh.
it didn't.
Skirt's
it
going
didn't
live.
hold any weight of feeling like it was like trying to just like be this money grab, or it wasn't just trying to be like only for the fans. It just felt like a beautifully written show, and I'm super stoked to see where this show goes. I mean, the most boring parts of the show are when the fungus guys are attacking and we're having those kind of things. Every time that we were with the characters just talking and like building this relationship in this world, I found that I was just so intrigued. And that doesn't put anything down on, like, you know, having the fun fungus and, you know, fights and all that kind of shit, as if they're throwing
I
mushrooms at each
lost
other.
my
But it's just like,
They
that's
took
all
my
good and fun, but like
schmungus.
the writing is just so good, the acting is so good, the world is so well thought out, that the show couldn't have any of that. And if there wasn't even like a zombie thing and it was just about people trying to survive, it would be awesome still. It's just like a beautiful, disgusting mushroom cherry on top that we get to have this monster element that like elevates the show into, you know, not just like another kind of post-apocalyptic show. It helps give its own identity by doing that, and I think that's really important. I think that this is going to be a good trajectory for shows moving forward, of like you treating it seriously and not just, you know, it isn't just a money grab. I think Arcane also did that really well. I know people are like, oh, League of Legends. Arcane seemed to be a brilliant show where it's like,
You
I don't
can
give a
hit
fuck
those
about the
notes,
League of
bro.
Legends lore, but it's like it makes you care. It's like it's good writing, and when good writing shines through, the shows shine through, the performances shine through, everything. You appreciate every aspect of a show, and that's what makes diehard fans. It's just that beautiful, beautiful writing. So, in conclusion, check it out. It's a complete home run. I love this show.
Gotta
Looking
have
forward to
that
season 2.
pen,
I mean, the
bruh.
weakest episode is the last
Gotta
episode.
have that pen.
And I wouldn't even say, and it's not even that it's weak. It's just that it's like, I think it's setting things up for the sequel. I think it's just one of those things where you maybe wanted more. Now you're an impatient little prick. You know, that's me. I called you that. Yeah, fuck you. If you're watching this right now, fuck you. And actually, and it makes me kind of want to play the games again. So I don't know. All in all, smash hit. I'd give it a 9 out of 10.
Fuck you.
Would I say it's the perfect show? I mean, come on, who's perfect, right? 9 out of 10 is fucking amazing. It's a great score, right? 9.5. Give it a 9.5. I can't say it's, I mean, I don't even think I've seen a perfect show. There's no such thing as a perfect. There's no 10 out of 10. It's a 9.5. 9.75. I'm not giving any more points. That's it. 9.95. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, watch the show. Pedro Pascal, please be my dad. I love you. Bye. People are going to be pissed when they realize I've never played the games. Yeah. Yeah.
No, shit, he never played the game. Well, fuck him for that. Nah. We ain't gonna be like that. No, I'm kidding. We ain't gonna be like that, literally. Well, it's not, we're not even gonna be like that. Yeah, let's play this fucking game. Let's play, Disco Elysium. This shit goes hard. I love this game. The writing is baller. For a second there, I thought I wasn't gonna load. Oh, baby. We're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back. We found Kuno's secret hiding spot. That motherfucker. So how do we get over there, though? Money. Huh. Okay. Well. Yeah, I can't go this way. Won't let me. A postcard. Wow. I got a bloody postcard. Where do I go? I don't know why it's... He's just walking on his own. Alright. Yeah, so... Uh-oh.
Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing here.
Yeah, we're gonna need to move this. Right there, probably. Looks like someone left his tarpaulin cloak hanging on the railing there. Look, Lieutenant, points to the flapping cloak. Someone left his cloak behind. Oops.
Yes, it's probably yours. It bears the RCM insignia, and you have a habit of being careless with your equipment. You could probably make the jump. You look like you've done some track and field in your day.
Should I go for it? Jump? Savoir faire. Go for the cloak. Jump over the ledge. 17? No, I can't win. Do you really think this cloak is mine? Should I go for a jump?
The cloak? I do think it's yours, yes. As to whether you should go for it? Well, it doesn't seem too dangerous. 2 meter stops. Whenever you're ready to do it, I'll be right behind you.
The cloak looks like a bag of goodies floating in the wind. Who knows what its pockets may hide?
Oh, God.
The wind is aggressive up here. The lieutenant looks at the enormous crane towering in the distance over the container yard. Then he turns back to the sad piece of fabric flapping in the wind.
Let's try it. Ah, failed it. We failed the check. I'm gonna fall. Or not, I'm just gonna not be able to do it, damn.
Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast. You're a boxer. And you've climbed way too high up here. You could have died there. Shit,
Damage
shit,
morale,
shit.
fuck.
I'm failing you. This wasn't part of our deal.
Hey, what happened? I understand. We can always come back when you are feeling better. It's just a cloak after all. Yes?
Nothing, I don't need nothing. I don't need nothing, I just gotta go this way. Let's go back down. We found Kuno's spot. Sorry, Kuno. How do I get out of here, though? There we go. Now let's talk to this fucker.
Fuck does Kuno care?
Fuck does Kuno care?
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in?
How the fuck did you get in? 5,000 years. Oh my. That's quite funny. Alright. I push the panels aside, Kuno. I phase shifted through the roofing material. Before we go on with that, let's talk about how you said it was just some roofing material, some gimps left behind. That was a lie. I don't want to be in... What are we going to say to Kuno? This guy's dicey.
Shit. Get the fuck out of here. You can't do that, Kuno. Pigs can't displace. Can't do that teleport shit. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right?
Magnesalam. Ooh.
Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just gotta fly, pig.
His gimps.
Kuno knows. Kuno and C saw you shit yourself. It's okay, pig. Not everyone can face the fear Kuno style.
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy. Just jump.
Found a plate covered with powder residue. Should I call him out for that?
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a battle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
I'm gonna use the speed against him.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Oh, he's gonna fuck his brain up.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that. Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secrets. Kuno's not snitching.
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you do it. Yet, that conclusively explains how the coke got up there.
I found a plate covered in powder
That's where
residue.
Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old, but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Oh, God. I don't know what to say to Kuno sometimes. He's hard to please. This kid is wrong wording, but you know what I mean. He's hard to not piss off. Were you trying to send me a message of some sort? Like some kind of a musician.
Yeah, Kuno plays on snuff radio, fucks pigs, live, fucks their heads off.
Live.
Kuno's a cop killer.
Kuno's a cop killer. Oh, this little kid's 187, dude. 187 invitation.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Yeah, the kingdom of Kuno. The fuck do you want with it? Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed. Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
Don't climb it. You go.
Fuck you, Kuno S. Shut the fuck up.
Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed.
Kuno. Why do you hate me so much? He screeches. You trying to get Kuno killed? So you let
Fuck
us
does
climb
Kuno
him.
know?
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it!
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck do you want with it? Oh, that.
What?
What is this shit? Fucking on yourself. This is weird level shit. Kuno doesn't go there.
Fuck your shit back to normal. What is this?
Well played. No one saw that coming.
Okay, I guess that was the one that Kuno's like, okay. Did I unlock like a new?
It's a vitamin.
You could use some.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno! He's gonna.
You're not getting this, pig.
Fuck you, pig! Don't do mag! You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die!
The girl who voiced her is funny. The tube of mag in the soul. Is that my code up there? Okay, I mean, I guess we pretty much.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to the fuck about it. Just a.
Yeah, you.
Looks like you're a fagari now. Whatever that means. The suspicious question.
Alright, yeah, that's it.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Kuno doesn't fucking care. Damn, dude, so mean. Uh-huh.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Para bronze taxi. For bronzy.
Silence. No one answers the doorbell. An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Uh-oh.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid game.
Kuno.
She thinks you're the gremlin child. What would he say to this?
Fuck off, pig, I'm Kuno. I don't give a shit, let me in. Will that work? No, that's not gonna work.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
Blazins.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. You ring the doorbell. But what an ominous name for all you hear is static, but no one answers the call. You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore.
Bronze taxi.
You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver, but isn't saying anything.
Ooh, ominous.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial Electric. Have you come to place an order?
She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off an old wax cylinder. A receiver must not be working properly.
I thought I was calling Slipstream SCA. Sorry, I don't... yes, I've come to place an order. Lie. I thought I was calling Slipstream SCA.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
What have I done?
It's you. My God. I didn't think I would hear your voice.
Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it.
It's a ghost.
Michelle, just please.
That's my name.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
I just hang up on her.
She sounds like she's about to cry.
Alright, see ya. You're weird. Sounds like she's about to cry. Oh god, Luke's gonna cry.
She doesn't answer. Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay. Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the sun.
I don't know what happened either. We should probably stop playing with this thing.
Meh.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read.
Yeah, well, no, we won't win that, so. Entrance from building B.
Silence. No one answers your call. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you.
Let me in! Let me in!
Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident. This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Should we try it?
Whatever she says,
I did it.
can't hurt you.
Oh,
You're a
shit.
different person now. Stronger, healthier, and... Alright, maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drunk so hard you can't remember any of your past relationships. Oblivion's the ace in your corner.
Yeah.
There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell, waiting for her to answer the call. It's cold outside, and you can hear the wind blowing into the speaker.
Yes, hello. This is Tricentennial
Electrics.
Have you come to place an order?
Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it.
It's you. My gosh, I didn't think I would hear your voice.
Wait, is she...
Michelle, just please.
Yeah, it's the same.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months.
Is this some kind of joke?
Weird. Someone's fucking with me.
The voice from the intercom doesn't answer, but you can hear her breathing. Wind blows into your microphone again, crackling and echoing in the box.
Over, can we talk now?
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different.
Bye, Dan.
As if my mind's been wiped clean. It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget about you.
And then it hits you. She tries again not to cry, and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant, as if her voice is being played off a wax cylinder. Her sound melts into the static from a long-distance phone call. From time to time, you can hear people talking in the distance, but can't make out any words. This is where you hung up the call the last time, but the recording is still going. A phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime, and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around the sounds.
Oh, a warm blanket.
No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then a female voice speaks out, completely different from the one before. Glorious and total somehow, crawling inside your head. Her words are too cold to comprehend. She smells of sodium lights and rain streaks on car windows. Eyes like pilot lights watch your shape in dark hallways, guttering.
So... It was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenant. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries to solve. I don't have time to explain it to you right now. Maybe sometime later. Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together, something weird is almost always happening to you.
That is true.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. I know, sir.
I am the law.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
Plaisance.
Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Ooh. Pat her on the head. By brutally dismantling the free market.
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
What?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day.
Okay, sir.
She doesn't care.
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private
Murders or
detective who's trying to solve
burglaries?
a crime and catch the criminals.
Probably gonna end the stream at an hour and 30 minutes just because I already streamed today and I'm getting pretty tired actually already. So tomorrow's gonna be the yeah, I'll just end it now. Tomorrow's gonna be the listening party for my new album. It's dropping tomorrow. Oh yeah, Frostbite Funk Volume 1. Be there or be square. Follow me on SoundCloud at @2_Blizzard 2.0. Catch it there. Catch you on another stream tomorrow. Tomorrow we are back making beats again. Yeah, once I drop that, we get a fresh start. So we're gonna start making new beats for another project. Yeah. So I'll see you later.